Hello everybody, what is up all you beautiful people? My name is Alex, and before I start properly talking right here, let me bring up my notes. It is the 2nd of October 2012, Tuesday as it were, and I haven't been uploading any videos for the past few days because I've been in England. And the first thing you might be noticing is my awesome tan, which is non-existent because England doesn't have sun. It has rain 24/7, pretty much, which didn't really change at all when I was there. So yeah, rain. Anyways, so let me tell you about my weekend, my long weekend. Started on Friday, 3 a.m. Well, actually, before that, I was approached by my father on Facebook, who said he was going to England to visit my grandmother and my step-uncle's 70th birthday party, surprise birthday party. And I at some point managed to say I wanted to come, and then smack bang boogie, next you know, I have a ticket in my hand, and that was like Wednesday, yeah. So I got like a couple days notice that I was going to England all of a sudden. All of a sudden, I was apparently very hard to say. So yeah, I had a couple days notice. I ended up in England. But these days, you know, you can actually do that kind of stuff. I have family all over England, so I could pretty much go anytime I wanted to, and stay there. Anyways, so at 3 a.m. the night to Friday, my girlfriend was so very kind to drive me to the airport because there are no trains that go between 12 and 6 in the morning-ish. And the flight left at like 6 a.m. So I had to be there at latest 5. And that's about an hour drive out there. So yeah, she was kind enough to drive me out, and got on the airport. Now my route down to London was a little bit messed up because I had to go from Trondheim, which is the airport is closest to me, Trondheim to Bergen, from Bergen to Stavanger, from Stavanger to London Heathrow, and that's a plane that is directly plane ride that is directly like 2.5 hours. Suddenly became like double that. But that was the cheapest tickets I could get at that time. So, anyways, if I keep looking up here, it's because I have a lot of notes. There's been a lot of stuff happening, so thought I'd write it up. It's a quick note tab. So yeah, I went down to Heathrow. It's the closest airport to where my family lives, which is outside London, a place called Haywards Heath. Yeah, and a couple things about planes. Now, like I said, this day and age you can pretty much fly anywhere, anytime you wanted. I mean, you could get like flights down to London for like $30 or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty cheap if you're very lucky with your tickets. Anyways, there's one thing I don't like about flying, and that is the air or the space that you're given. I mean, I'm a big guy, not wide, but tall. And yeah, I always sit really awkwardly in the planes. I think I have a picture of that somewhere. Yeah, it's on my phone. If I can, I'll put it on the boom there. But yeah, I sit very awkwardly and it's very uncomfortable. And when the plane takes, or the ride takes 5 hours, it's kind of uncomfy. Anyway, something I also noticed is there actually a thing where elderly men still wear... I noticed that 2 separate occasions that men were having these combs in the back pockets. Is that a thing still? I mean, in this day and age, you'd think that, well, I guess the hair situation hasn't changed. The comb over is still very necessary, I guess. But I'm gonna have to move this along because I have a lot more to talk about and not much time to talk about it. So, yeah, I got to London Heathrow, and from there I was supposed to get to Victoria Station and meet my father and her. My father's wife, I was about to say. Well, actually, that's correct. My father's husband, I was about to say, but yeah, I was about to meet my father and his wife. Yes, correct. Yes, score to me. And I fumbled about. I don't know if you've ever been to London, but the subway system, it's very intricate. Very hard to understand if it's your first time there. Thankfully, I did manage to get my way around after a bit of fumbling back and forth. Thankfully, also, there's a train like every 10 minutes going to where I was supposed to go, which was Victoria Station. I was supposed to meet him outside of Victoria Station. He told me that there would be a pub outside Victoria Station. Once you get out, there would be a pub straight across the street on your left. And I got there, went out of the exit, and straight over the street to the left. I thought, there's no pub there. There's a pub called the Shakespeare, apparently, and I did not see any pub. Turns out, well, I did find it eventually, after walking about a bit, a couple of blocks. But turns out there's like a whole bunch of different entrances to this Victoria Station. And, yeah, I came out the back exit. So yeah, I had to go like all around the block, and I found it eventually. Thankfully they didn't have to send out a search party for me. Anyways, so my aunt and uncle, which we were staying at, the place we were resting our heads, well, would be resting our heads. I got to Victoria Station around 12 in the afternoon. So yeah, I've been traveling all day, pretty much. Well, half the day. And I got to Victoria Station, and the pub, and we met up with my father and his wife, and we just wandered around because my aunt and uncle, they were already on vacation, so they wouldn't be back until the evening, right around 6 in the afternoon. So we had a couple hours to kill, like 6 hours to kill. We ended up just walking around London for a bit, and I did a bit of shopping, just random souvenir shopping, gift shopping. I've been to London a bunch of times now, so I don't really bother with all the sites, but as a courtesy to my girlfriend, which hasn't been there yet, she asked me to take some footage of, the usual sites. So we went up to Buckingham Palace and, all that stuff. I'd had a little t-shirt mishap, though, because I found this awesome t-shirt at this one souvenir shop, and yeah, I couldn't find it in the right size. So there were 2 different rows with these t-shirts with the same print on it, and I couldn't find a size in the one I was looking at. So I looked at the one next door, or the row right beside it, and I found the right size, and I pulled it out, and I'm like, oh yeah, awesome. Unfortunately, turns out later in the day I found out that I got the wrong t-shirt, because this is the one I was not supposed to get, because it says my girlfriend went to London. Don't know if you can see that. And I went to London, meaning me being the guy. That was my telephone, by the way, if you're curious. So yeah, I guess at some point, whenever she goes to London, she'll have to buy my boyfriend went to London, and I'll get this one back or something, I don't know. Probably wouldn't fit, though. I mean, I'm a lot larger than her. Anyways, so yeah, the t-shirt mishap happened. I also got a few other gifts, so it's fine, even though the shirt says the wrong thing. Anyways, so we walked around London and, you know, just had a few drinks at random pubs and went to this little wine and cheese cellar thing. And thankfully they had Wi-Fi there so I could check my phone, Facebook and stuff. Yeah. Then we went up to TGI Fridays. I had a nice dinner. Got this Jack Daniel's steak. Oh man, it was good. Also got this Oreo shake, because last time I went to TGI Fridays, it was actually when I went to America, which was like 10 years ago now. So I vaguely remember this Oreo milkshake they had at TGI Fridays in America, and I was very happily surprised that they did indeed have it at the one in London as well. There's actually two in London, now that I think about it. Anyways, so yeah, we got this TGI Fridays shake and had a nice steak. Then we ended up taking a taxi up to the place where we were staying, which was up my aunt and uncle's. Well, step uncles or half uncles. Well, the one I'm related to is the wife. So yeah, that was nice. We got there fairly late, like around 7 in the afternoon, 7 in the evening, and yeah, we just chilled out, had a nice day of just chatting, getting to know each other all over again, stuff like that. You know, usual stuff. Been traveling all day, so it's kind of nice to just chillax. Had a nice cup of tea and eventually went up to my room, which turns out is a kid's room. Also, it's freaking tiny. I mean, I have a picture, I'll show you like right now, but the picture doesn't really do it justice, because it's freaking, well, let's just say I'm 6'4" or something, like 190 centimeters tall, and that's pretty big. And this room was definitely not made for me. I mean, I bumped into everything when I was trying to get into bed, and yeah, I did. Once I did get into bed, though, it was fine. Yeah, the bed wasn't too short or anything. Just the roof leaned so harshly that I had to bend all the way, like walk hunchbacked all the way through the room and into the bed. But yeah, it was fine once I did get into bed. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'll come back to talk to you about Saturday in a second. Alright, so as a matter of fact, turns out that the text message thing I got earlier was from my girlfriend, which is coming over right now, and I'm gonna prioritize her because I haven't seen her in a whole bunch of days, and I really like to spend some time with her. We're gonna watch How I Met Your Mother and eat a pizza and have a jolly old good time relaxing together, because I'm dead tired as well from all the traveling and stuff. I guess I'll get back to you guys tomorrow about what happened on Saturday, whenever I get around to making a video about that. I can tell you guys about what I did in London. No, actually England. This is a bit outside of England. So if I ever say London, just, know that I mean the area that my family lives in. Anyways, a couple of things that happened there on Saturday, just as little teasers, was me doing the knee slide at a random club in the middle of England and making a hell of a stupid fun of myself. Well, a jack of myself. And leaving my cousin, taking the taxi and driving away, leaving him in the middle of England. Anyways, guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.